You remember using this to give yourself infinite money, unlock everything, or just completely break your favorite game? But how did a little cartridge actually do that? Your action replay wasn't creating new code for the game, it was changing the data the game was already using. Games store things like health, money, items, and character stats as values in memory. For example, the game might have your money value set as 500, but the action replay could tell the console whenever the game looks at its memory address, give it 1,000,000 instead. Now suddenly you have a lot more money. The actual cheat codes were essentially instructions for modifying or intercepting those values. That's why action replay codes could do some really strange things. Infinite health, unlimited ammo, walking through walls, unlocking items, even changing character models. The part that made it feel like magic is that you didn't have to know what the code meant. Someone already figured that out for you. The memory locations that mattered, and turning those changes into a code that you could type into the device. That's always why sometimes you saw different codes for different versions of the same game, because a game's memory layout could change between regions, revisions, or releases, so the code that worked on one version might not absolutely do anything on the other. That's why action replay wasn't really hacking the game in the way people might imagine. It was more like editing a game's memory while it was running. The game was still doing exactly what it was programmed to do, you were just changing the information it was working with. And that's what made these devices so fun. You could use them to make a difficult game easier, you could or completely destroy the rules and see what happened. Sometimes you'd find a useful secret, or other times your game would likely crash. And sometimes you turned your character into something the developers really never intended. So the next time you remember typing in a ridiculous strings and number to get infinite money, you weren't entering a magic spell, you were just telling the game, use this value instead. What's the most broken or ridiculous thing that you ever did with an action replay, or cheat codes for that matter?